now we know who we're watching. Well, the next one's from LevelCap. It is titled Star Citizen's Total Meltdown. And it's still melted.
Star Citizen is currently in disaster mode. The new 3.18 update for the game has caused the servers to basically melt down into an unplayable state. After months and months of waiting and testing, the developers finally pushed their extremely massive patch out to the live servers, and
I'm really calling this is an extended PTU. This is not live. There's no way that we go without a wipe before 3.18.1, and this is not live.
It has not gone well. As of making this video, the servers are either completely down or mostly down, and even if you're able to log in by some miracle, all the in-game systems fail, so it's still pretty much unplayable. Now, there is
No, that didn't fail, LevelCap. You have to wait approximately 300 seconds for that box to open, and then you can go ahead and take that med gun out.
is of course a reason for all of this occurring. Whether or not it's a good reason is really for you to decide, but Star Citizen's 3.18 patch is not just some random update. It's fundamentally redesigning the entire way the game communicates with servers, in addition to other massive changes. Which means that while they were building the patch, it more or less broke just about every system in the game, which had to...
And then the moment people wanted to log in, it broke even more things because they broke it and they didn't know it, maybe. I don't know. This is crazy.
Be painstakingly repaired. And the tech behind this patch has been in development for well over a year, and the testing phase has been massive. It's also been massively delayed, with the original projection targeting a launch in the third quarter of last year. The work required to make Star Citizen function with this brand new replication layer technology has been hugely underestimated by Cloud Imperium, mostly because this tech hasn't been used before by pretty much anyone. The programmers...
And to be fair, I think the game feels like a whole new game in a way. It's more exciting. There's more story every place you go. There's stuff on the ground. I don't know whose video I watched. I think it was Ollie's video yesterday. He found people, like, he went to a garbage can and there was literally soda cans and things like that in the garbage because people were cleaning up. I don't know. It just, I know that's like such a subtle, stupid thing to mention, but it feels like a whole different game already.
Are forging new ground in online gaming, and clearly it's been difficult and very hard to predict how long it's going to take. And with the patch launching on Friday of last week and it now being Tuesday, the multiplayer universe has been more or less unplayable the entire time. And again, those who have been able to log
and I'm watching on Thursday and it's still just as bad.
in haven't really been able to accomplish much. Thousands and thousands of players have been trying to log in, which has shown that 3.18 server tech cannot yet function at this scale. Nor could other systems. Prior to the patch even launching last week, the actual Star Citizen forums were crashing due to so many players refreshing the website while waiting for the launch announcement. And part of the reason that Cloud Imperium actually launched the patch in its current state was because they needed to test the patch at mass scale. And scale
I don't understand that one, because I think you get max scale if you push on Monday or Tuesday this past week, but you don't get the crunch that you needed to do over the weekend and the obvious problems on the weekend with that. So, yeah.
Is exactly what they got, with CIG describing massive player login attempts, which is both encouraging that there are so many players that want to try this new update and disappointing that the update has failed so spectacularly. And I have seen some people suggest that CIG knew this patch would fail at this level, as they had already announced a major fix-it patch was in the works prior to launch, but there still isn't.
I think they did. I don't think they thought it would be this bad with the logging in, but what they hinted at was, like, I think persistence and some things with that.
Much of a reason to completely torpedo your servers and make the game this unplayable. It's also just really unfortunate timing with the new promotional trailers that are further hyping this update. CIG dropped three really cool trailers showcasing the new features and new ships coming with the update.
One of them was the Star Wars trailer. Look at our game. It looks just like Star Wars, everyone.
Update. The Lasting Legacies trailer does a great job of hyping the new
Mandalorian,
persistence
you could be
tech.
Mando.
Basically, everything in the universe that's dropped or crashes or dies will now persist in that location.
Yeah, the trailers are too good that it actually pisses people off, I think. Because, like, the thing is always long-term backers who don't get debated by this stuff, but they're the ones who get mad about it, is, like, saying that the trailers look too good, that people are going to not believe this
until somebody finds it and takes it. You know how in basically every video game ever, your body despawns after you die? Well, not in Star Citizen, not anymore, nor will your spaceship. It's pretty wild technology when it's actually working. Cargo now persists as well, allowing pirates to board and steal cargo or fish it out of shipwrecks. There's new racetracks and time trial missions for those tracks, an entirely new salvaging profession which allows players to profit from salvaging shipwrecks. There's new derelict outposts that look really cool, new cave archetypes, new rivers and canyons, new prison missions, a massive update to security post Korea, turning it into a PvP mission location, and frankly a whole lot more. The patch is extremely content rich.
I've only been there once in 3.18 so far. I cannot wait for 3.18.1 or for things to just calm down a little bit and then we get actual full servers all the time, people getting in. Oh man, it's going to be so fun.
And the trailers, as usual, do a great job of hyping it up, which normally would be great for the game. But currently, the hype is driving players towards an unplayable dumpster fire of a situation. Now, is this the worst state that Star Citizen's ever been in? Arguably not. In 2017, the 3.0 patch also...
Nope. This is the worst. People cannot even get into the menu. We all were able to play Star Citizen 3.0 for 2 minutes at a time, but we were able to play it. And the difference is the game didn't really exist in the state that it does now, where everybody was kind of still imagining what Star Citizen would be like. Well, 3.18 is a really special patch because it sort of turns on some features that really make the game feel real, like it's happening in some cases for me. Like I have moments of like, whoa, it's happening, right? Like Star Citizen's looking really good. And I think because of that, the fact that the game is so much more playable, so much more interesting, so much more fun than it was in 3.0. 3.0 was all about imagining what it was going to be like. Still, you were, as a Twitch streamer, you were flying around doing nothing while talking about what you were going to do one day. In 3.18, you're flying around wishing you were able to do more in the game, or you're clicking on the menu trying to get in, wishing you were able to play. I think it's totally different. I feel it's way worse. Way worse.
Also brought tons of new features that broke the game for many and wasn't fixed for quite some time. However, back in 2017, the active player base was also much smaller than it is today, as there was just far less gameplay loops available. However, today, Star Citizen can easily be played on a daily basis, and many players do. So while it wasn't a great situation at the time of 3.0's launch, the scale of the problem is arguably a lot worse today. That said, I don't believe the server issues will persist for a particularly long time, because after all, 3.18 was working in the public test universe, and I played it there and made videos of it working and functioning, as did many others. We all know that the tech does technically work. What we're experiencing now is a scalability issue, which was pretty much the main reason the patch was pushed to the live servers to test this specifically. And while I don't imagine that the fix is going to be particularly easy, I also don't think it's going to require anywhere near as much time to get under control versus, say, a fundamental engine issue or a major performance problem that may need money.
Database stuff, this could be a fundamental issue. May not be engine.
months of recoding. Currently, CIG is directing people to follow a status thread that updates players on the current server status and issues. I'll leave a link to this page in the video description, and it does sound like they're making progress in figuring out the problems, but at the same time, they're certainly not out of the woods yet. And frankly, I wouldn't expect the game to become immediately playable once a fix is deployed. It'll probably start to get more and more stable as more and more issues are resolved. It's possible that the game will be playable by the end of the week, but potentially with a myriad of bugs that will still take multiple weeks to get under control. And if
I have not gotten to the menu with my main account yet. My main account has not seen the menu. It's Thursday.
For being perfectly honest here, Star Citizen is and always has been semi-broken and very buggy. It is an alpha after all, but there is a state of normalcy that most players have grown accustomed to, which is that we expect bugs and broken systems, but generally speaking, we also expect to be able to find workarounds to most of them. However, once
I had to try 5 different accounts to get in, and I got in with an account that has a Mustang Omega that I used to do, use for giveaways back in the day. I found a sheet of paper that had a bunch of usernames and emails and passwords, and that's the account I was able to get in. A notepad with a few accounts on it that were left over from like 7 years ago.
the workarounds stop working, then it becomes a real problem for all players. And currently, there's pretty much no workarounds in game. Stuff is just flat out broken. In the limited time I was able to join servers,
that bug is horrible. That
ran into mostly non-functional missions, quantum
nuts.
UI not working, mission UI not working, all terminals including Aesop's terminals not functioning, elevators not working, inventory not loading or not transferring, or transferring but then the items going back after the transfer, getting stuck in seats, doors not opening, weapon reloads not registering, and basically every system in the game being either somewhat buggy or totally broken. Again, we know that this patch does function at a smaller scale due to playing on the public test universe. The issues are stemming from the scalability and database struggling to keep up with the massive ingest. It's a crap situation from all perspectives. Generally speaking though, I think most players are handling it okay. Everyone knew 3.18 was going to be a massive tech update for the game, and longtime fans are pretty used to major tech patches breaking the games in different ways. That said,
but this is the biggest tech patch we've ever had. This is nothing like anything we've ever experienced before, from a bugginess standpoint, from a just general disaster trying to get in, and then the amazing experiences we have when we are in and things are working. I spent the last, how many hours of bench streaming? 4.5 hours, approximately 4-5 hours, in game in a server with 20 plus frames on average. FPS AI snappy, getting in and out of my seats, inventory loading instantly, everything working. So that's also the thing. I think there was like 12 to 15 players on the server. So, I have a streamer advantage, I guess, here in this case, is there's people that are watching that go, yo, I got 10 players in my server. The server frame rate's 30. You want to join on me? Sure, go join on him. That's something I would like to maybe do on our Discord, is have a looking for group chat, and people can share if they're on good servers and use voice comms and stuff to get there, because right now the experience between a server with 3 FPS and a server with 30 FPS is insane, right? So I think I'm going to set that up after this video, basically.
Does have to wonder if there may have been a better way to approach this launch, like employing a better incentive system to overload the test servers and test the scalability there. It's hard to know if that would have really worked though. Even I stopped logging into the public test servers as I was just waiting for the game to hit live. A 30 frame rate server is a server where everything works. Perhaps this process of breaking the game with big updates is just the necessary growing pains of Star Citizen, with static server meshing and dynamic server meshing being the two remaining major overhauls to the game's back-end tech. If the
No, Jerry,
community
it's gonna
has
be
to
a
go
while.
through this process 2 more times before the engine is more or less finalized, then I think for the most part players are going to stick around for it. It's just one of the first times I can remember seeing such an active community of this new, much bigger player base have the game shut down on them for days on end. To me, CIG clearly didn't want this and almost certainly wasn't expecting it to be quite this bad, but perhaps it's just a necessary process in the pursuit of such groundbreaking technology. Of course, I'll be waiting to hop in once the major issues are resolved and start building up my character in the new, even more persistent universe. I'd be curious to know what you think about the 3.18 patch and how you're feeling about not being able to play the game, assuming that you're an active player in the first place. Next up, check out my Star Citizen weapon video showing all of the amazingly detailed and interesting guns that this game offers. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.
All right, Level. Thank you for that. I look forward to playing again with Level. We got to do some salvaging, and I think in 3.19 maybe we'll try, maybe I'll hit him up, try to do some SPK with him or something. But the we're both very excited for the salvage missions coming up, so I think we're gonna try and do something when those happen in 3.19. But the thing that, you know, Level's been around. I think Level's been making more content for Star Citizen lately, but what I think people don't realize is Level's been around since basically Star Citizen's inception and is pretty interested in it. So he knows what's going on, but I don't think he's played it as much until now. And yeah, this is, in my opinion, the worst release we've ever had from a playability and accessibility standpoint. It's been horrible. But when you are in game and it is working, it is still the best patch we've ever had in terms of changing the game or game changing moments. It's pretty incredible. So gotta take the good with the bad, I guess, in this case. And here's to hoping 3.18.1 really resolves a lot of the issues that we have now. It's all we can do.